blah blah.
So, what are we talking about, Justin?
All right, so we're gonna talk about the new My Hero movie, which is Two Heroes.
There's a new movie?
I mean, it's the only movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and this one actually takes place in between seasons 2 and 3, so it actually takes place during their summer vacation, which actually validates like what's going on. Them going on a full-on trip over to Island. Well, it sounds like you're always having a lisp.
It sounds like the worst stutter.
But I don't know. Gabe, we'll just start with like if we like it or not. Gabe?
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I loved to elaborate more. I just like how it's just an extension of the show instead of like a full-fledged movie. I've talked to you about it before, but
Yeah, we were talking about it on the drive home.
yeah, we were talking about how with movies, especially anime movies, they'll like go through the entire budget for it. Like you'll see in Pokemon movies, like the shadow is better, animation is just like even better, and they'll add extra animation to the hair at the end of every single Pokemon movie to flow back for no reason, even in an enclosed space. Which, by the way, I saw My Hero Academia do that too.
Did they?
Yeah, with David Shield. He was just reliving his past, looking out to the beach with All Might, and it just transitions to him like older now, inside an office, but his hair was kind of like flowing just for the sake of transition.
You know what? I'll give it this.
Yeah.
His AC was going.
Yeah, okay. But it really is, because Studio Bones still keeps it consistent, like both in the anime and in the movie. So it does feel like an extra extension, so it doesn't give that non-canon like vibe to it as a result.
Yeah, it definitely feels like, okay, this is definitely part of the show and whatnot. And it is confirmed that, yes, it is part of the canon. That Horikoshi said, yeah, this is it.
This is it.
Yep. And the fact that the quality stays the same, it was great seeing it on the big screen in like the third row.
In the third row, we were in this movie.
Because when it shows them like having a distant conversation, when you're watching it on TV or on your computer or whatever, yeah, it makes sense. They had to lower the detail and whatnot because, come on, it's a far scene. But on a fucking 50-foot screen, 3 feet from it, it's so funny just seeing how little detail goes into these conversations from a distance.
I never seen the subtitles so close.
I fucking love the fact that the faces were like like 2 lines as the eyes, and then a line as the mouth, and every now and again you'd see like another line under the mouth to signify that yes, the mouth is open.
Yeah. But
it's like, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, despite that, like animation was still really top. My favorite bit was just the Young Might opening sequence.
Oh yeah, dude, that was
just lined up with the track.
There was a split second when he's flying past the building, and I'm like, oh shit, there's 2 of them.
It's like, oh okay. And oh my god, like even watching that makes me think about like how we analytically how we analyze each episode and how like quirks go, especially for One for All, and how much he controls it.
Yes.
The fact that he kicks off the building without actually shattering the glass, and the fact that he punches like hard enough to
change his trajectory,
that and just redirect like the missiles so he doesn't end up like shattering buildings.
Right. I like the California Smash. He did like 3 backflips and then punched him.
That was great. Nice call back to that.
Yeah. About everyone in the United States speaking Japanese.
Yeah, they kind of streamlined it, but you know, sometimes that just happens. And
I really would have preferred if they got some English voice actors for it to actually speak English, and then we got to hear some fucking broken English from All Might.
Like more so, but I think actually what happened like in our situation, I think the 2 movies were actually like divided by language, so we just so happened to walk into the subtitle maybe.
Well, I know that there's an English and there's a dubbed and a sub version, but just like with the K-On! Movie where they go to England, the subbed version they speak Japanese, but the English people, they speak English.
Yeah, so I mean there's that touch, but I guess they didn't really want
and I would have really liked that because
it would make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And Studio Bones is a big company. It's for a movie. And it's been done before by smaller people for just a regular ongoing show. Ping Pong. Ping Pong the animation. They had like one of the main characters was a Chinese person, and he spoke Mandarin.
Okay.
And they had it was
Both
great, yeah, because they had the Japanese subtitles, and underneath that they had the English subtitles.
Oh wow. Okay. And I guess it would just sound different anyway. So okay.
They had that. I know that there's some shows out there that when they have German speakers, they speak German. The English speak English. The French speak French, and it's all still in the Japanese dub version. And so it's like, oh, that's cool. Like The Count movie is the only movie where I refuse to watch it in the dub.
Oh really?
For the sole fact of it takes away from the immersion that the sub version actually gave.
Oh really?
Or
did they not retroactively keep some of those like audio clips of different speakers? I guess. Or
everyone speaks English.
Everyone speaks. Oh.
Everyone speaks English. So I'm like, it ruins it because they speak the fucking the English people speak English in the Japanese version. So it removes the immersion when it's like, oh, nice to see you. Oh, it's nice to see you too. What the fuck did he just say? You're speaking the same language here.
Well, I guess it depends on the context of like the conversation.
Yeah, there's definitely the context that you could read into and know that they're speaking a different language. But it's just like, I'm taken out of it.
I see what you mean. But for me, it just kind of like streamlined the process of like the pacing instead of making it weird.
I would have liked it. I feel it would have added to it and added just an immeasurable amount of production value to it, especially when there's only like 3-4 American speaking roles, and it's like 4 lines. Like, who's that? That's the next that's the symbol of peace, or the future symbol of peace. All Might. And then everyone's like, All Might?
All Might?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, oh, we could have done that. I could have been cow lady.
Fucking cow lady.
Dude, she was unexpected to me. Like, oh.
She straight turned into a bull and charged after them.
It's pretty great. I can see it.
What I liked was their attention to detail in California, where there was a small crime and every cop in a 20-mile vicinity showed up, guns drawn and ready to shoot someone.
Damn, they really took that into context.
Yeah. Granted, where they were in California was God knows where, because none of that architecture seemed remotely close. It looked Vegas. It looked like Vegas, not California.
Yeah, just...
It looked like it took place on the Strip.
That's very true, but we'll let them just imagine it. But
I guess everything west of Texas is California.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the two main characters here, being David Shield and his daughter Melissa?
Melissa.
First of all, that's a funny encounter,
dude.
Great English.
Yeah, All Might had the fucking most stereotypical bland white man way of saying Melissa, where he normally has those like really like bassy, deep, kind of cool English moments where he's like, California smash, but this time it was Melissa. I thought that was great.
It was funny, unironically, I guess.
Yeah, I really like I like their characters. Melissa has good motivation. She makes an excellent foil to Midoriya, and a perfect mirror image of what he is, what he wants to accomplish, and what she is and what she wants to accomplish. And our boy Dave, he does the exact same for All Might.
That's what he does.
All Might's the number one hero. Dave is the number one fucking developer.
Partner support.
Yeah, and Deku wants to be like All Might, and Melissa wants to be like her father.
Yeah.
And they both made these paths and these decisions with no quirk.
Right.
Spoiler.
Spoiler.
Melissa
Melissa
doesn't have a quirk.
Yeah, right. And
But she does have a boss ass pogo stick.
yeah, like how do you? Why can't I get one of those?
They exist. I don't think they're too terribly expensive.
I do like the fact that she is introduced as quirkless. When you like read a synopsis of it, especially like when you hear the first like conception of this movie, you're like, oh, she's just like kind of like she's definitely going to be involved like with more Midori as far as this reflection on like what he could have been, and it's kind of that case, but I think it just helps build their connection as friends who end up helping each other out. She gives him like an experimented armband that automatically just like envelops his entire arm, or I guess to his forearm, that allows him to use 100% at least 3 times. Which I actually honestly predicted Midori to use it exactly that way, but he was actually smarter than that. The first time he uses it was to use 30% of it.
Yeah. Just enough to where he would crack his arm in half, but not enough to where he would be completely indisposed of should it go wrong.
And possibly knock everyone else like behind him. So I'm glad that even like given this new tech, he doesn't like abuse it immediately. What else is there? And of course the armband does take advantage and is a plot like convenience tool for the end, especially for like fan service who wanted to see that All Might and Deku combination, that collaboration fight. Because as the story stands now, like without the movie, they never came together and fought.
There you go, Justin. $200
$200
for a Melissa pogo stick.
Melissa pogo stick. It's kind of nuts. I like it.
Well, these are high class pogo sticks. That's why you'd fall into here.
But
damn jumping sticks.
Them kids and their jumping sticks. What else is there to talk about in the about the movie? It really has like kind of a bit of everything as far as like the different like tropes and genres like incorporated in each episode.
You know what it has that pisses me off?
What?
Everybody.
Okay.
They don't
we need
have
to,
the
we
right
need to talk about
to
this.
all be there. There's a handful. There's a small select number of those students that are there
Who are
that actually have a right and a reason to be there. We have
Midoriya first of all.
yeah, Midoriya going with All Might.
Right.
That makes sense. And then Momo is a shareholder. Well, her parents are shareholders in the Island Expo, and she's allowed to bring 2 friends. That being Jiro and Ochiko.
All right.
That makes sense. Kaminari and Mineta are there because they are working there.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. We have
Iida.
Iida. He's there because his family is super big in the hero circuit, and they were all invited, but he was the only one with the time to actually go.
Okay.
That makes sense. We have Shoto being there because his father was invited, and he came on his behalf. That makes sense. We also have Bakugo, who is there because he was invited because he won the sports festival, and he brought a +1 being Kaminari.
Or Kirishima.
Kirishima, that's it. Kaminari's working.
And
that's it.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
They make sense. They make sense that they're there, and it makes sense that they have a right to be there because iExpo is not open yet. It opens the following day. And so everyone in the class being there at the same time does not make sense. They shouldn't be allowed there until tomorrow.
At the very least, right?
Yes.
All conveniently without their parents, all rooming together, wandering the streets, and they don't even take part of the full-on like conflict that happens in the movie. Like there really was no need for them to
Only
be
the
there.
people that were allowed to be there were a part of the conflict in the movie.
Listen, if they just had like a little shot that just said like, oh, I wish I was there, like at home. That'd be
If
fine.
they're watching it on the news and that was on the news, then yeah, okay. Then again, that wouldn't be on the news because iExpo would have been canceled as fuck.
It's Because they kept it under wraps. Not to mention, it wouldn't make sense for everyone to be beating up on bad guys when they don't have their provisional license.
That's one thing I want to point out. They're talking about, or at least Iida, he's talking about, oh, we can't use the powers. It's against the rules. No, we ain't got a license. However, they are in international waters at Island, where it was explicitly stated by Melissa that you are completely allowed to use your quirks at this facility.
Mm-hmm. So even though they were worrying about it, they don't need to worry because
there's no law or regulation saying that they are not allowed to use their quirk. They're outside of any governing body aside from Island.
Mm. So I mean that just kind of like clears up like the slate, so that whatever happens in the actual series is on them because they're all in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So that just kind of clears up the waters. Of course, the whole fact that they're all there simultaneously,
It upsets me.
It enrages me.
Okay, fucking Steven.
Nah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It's just a sake for like everyone to just yell at the screen, which people did,
mm-hmm.
which was pretty good. I appreciate that everyone gets like kind of a cheer because we follow these guys,
mm-hmm.
even beyond that point in time.
I don't know.
It's a weird thing though because
its own continuity was ruined within itself.
Yeah, because Horikoshi decided to say like, "Oh, this is canon. That's totally canon."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right, that's fine," but
it's fine that it's canon. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is why they're breaking their own rules on why they should be there.
Right.
It opens tomorrow.
So be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not the day before. This all takes place in one day.
A day, but an evening, really. That's where everything kicks off.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes the whole night.
Yeah.
The movie ends at sunrise.
Oh, man. I think for me, there's one issue in the fact that, yes, it is canon, but it doesn't, like every other episode, it doesn't really build up to the overall plot because it's retroactively inputted into the series. Unless they do something like later on where they introduce the shields again.
They might.
They probably will. And I hope for that. But right now, like when I look at this movie, I think like this is definitely like a little joyride.
I'm telling you, dude, 9 months after this movie takes place, Deku's gonna get a call from Melissa.
Say, hey, I got something else to show you. It isn't just the armband.
I have something that we created.
Yeah. I mean...
Oh, so as you guys are going to watch, if you guys decide to watch the movie, within like the first 15 minutes of their initial interaction, there's some huge sexual tension between Deku and Melissa.
Yeah. Mainly caused by Midoriya himself.
Yeah.
Because he's the one who can't take a girl who is too close to him.
Mm-hmm. But as she starts learning more and more about him, you can tell she's wanting it.
I don't know, dude. Like, they usually give you, like, the tropic, like, signs of, like, I didn't mean to do that. I'm like, why would I do that?
Well,
like, Uraka. Uraka's actually pretty, she's still at this point, like, where she has feelings, but she doesn't know how to
express it
well, or contain it.
You look like you're having fun, Deku.
Looks like you're having fun, Deku. I mean, that's a very subtle thing. It's the only, like... reveal of her feelings like throughout the entire thing, really, except for like maybe her admiration for him, like when they decide to actually go against the villains.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I think My Hero and Horikoshi with his writing, that if there are any relationships and there are any like budding romances, he does a really good job at keeping it subtle. I think Uraraka is the exception just because she herself is a bit as immature as Deku. But Melissa, she's way more composed with herself in really any situation.
Yeah. She already has that level of maturity versus like the other casts.
That, and she's not a kid. She's 17.
Yeah.
She is mentally developed to a point to where she can kind of distance herself a bit from her own emotions.
And compared to everyone else, like she has to go through a lot more. Like,
Yeah,
not just like
she's-
from like academic level, but just like in the state of heroes, where does she fall in? Because she's quirkless.
Well, I built a glove.
I built a glove, and it's because of her experience like with like her dad and Uncle Might
Uncle Might.
that she has like something to go for versus Deku, who, I mean, granted, he didn't have that type of like influence, so he grew up differently than Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
So it took him to grab like One for All for himself, or at least get passed down to him, to feel like he had a meaning. But to like look back and see Melissa and know that there was a path for him if he decided to choose that, gives him like a new like admiration for her, and I think that just kind of betters his character.
He could have been support hero.
Mm-hmm. He was really smart for it too.
Mm-hmm. His deductive reasoning is unparalleled, at least as far as I've seen in the show.
Yeah. Several occasions
He's
where
Batman.
several occasions where almost like, at least you know how to grasp this.
Oh, I get it. It's like an egg in a microwave. Sure.
Yes.
Imagine it like an egg in a microwave, and you don't want to set the settings too high or it'll explode. Those are your arms.
Oh, I got it.
That
The egg in the microwave. Todoroki's like, what the fuck are you?
That fucking, what's it called? That picture that we saw on Instagram. Alright, Deku, so these are how normal bones are. These are how your bones are. That's confetti. Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, they are.
It perfectly sums up what he does to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just thought about the fucking, what's it called? The bone regrow potion from Harry Potter.
Oh.
And how you could feel the horrid pain of a bone growing inside of you.
Oh. Let me see. I'm thinking of other
That's all
things.
Deku needs.
He needs a potion. He needs a support that just gives him potions.
Yeah, he needs
Potion
bone
hero.
growth. Potion hero.
Snape. Enjoying ourselves, Midoriya. Gets his newspaper. Those thoughts were private. He was thinking about Ojiko. Those thoughts were private. Not anymore. It's just, I don't know. I just definitely enjoy the movie for like everything he puts in there as far as just like how it is episodically for like, you know, season 1, 2, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But like right now, it's just a movie to enjoy.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. I feel like I just got spoiled a lot for the series because it's just so good as far as its character builds and plot. That this feels definitely like, well, I mean, all movies are kind of like filler in that way, but because it's canon, it's like I kind of want more out of it as a result, more references or like some kind of inspiration.
And we might. We don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's kind of like how I stand with it. I enjoy it, but I want more.
Watch them go to California.
I want Midoriya to come up with different types of state smashes instead of just the regular California one.
You know, he needs to back away from states, back away from cities, and do counties. There's a lot of counties in the United States.
Okay.
And his most powerful one should be the San Bernardino fucking swirl.
It's not even a smash, it's just a swirl.
Which is his fucking crip walk that he did on Katsuki before he kicked him in the jaw.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yep.
Oh,
Some fancy footwork for a fucking jaw kick.
Oh, that was great. Although I think he himself has created his own smash. I think Delaware's, or I think Missouri actually might be his own creative spin.
I'm pretty sure it exists in All Might's repertoire.
Yeah, he just already came up with it. Of course I came up with it.
Well, I'm pretty sure because we've never come across the California Smash, but clearly that existed.
Yeah.
So he's probably used every state. We just haven't seen him use every state because he has his bread and butter Detroit Smash, his New Hampshire Smash, his fucking Delaware.
There was also another one. The one
Texas.
Not yes, but also the one that he just sends himself flying backwards. New Hampshire?
Yeah, New Hampshire.
I think it was New Hampshire. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much all he really needs.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd like to see him to do an all Dakota Smash.
An all Dakota.
Yeah. But
watch him do a 13 colonies.
I'm looking at you, Hawaii.
Hawaii Smash. He just throws fucking lava on you.
Hawaii Smash.
And fucking opposite to that is the Alaska Smash, where he punches you with a big ass ice brick.
Like Naruto to pain, like.
I think another great one would oh man, I can't even think of one. All right, so let's hop into Endgame.
The Endgame?
Yeah. So what do you think of the fucking head scratch power amplifier that Dave was trying to fake steal?
I like how valid it was as far as like his motive. Like this otherwise like plot convenience like
this MacGuffin?
Yeah, MacGuffin was actually meant to augment All Might's powers to revert it back to how it was. Sadly, David didn't know about like the real purpose of One for All like fading away.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. Did he find out later? Oh, okay, I think he maybe had like an idea, but it was never confirmed. It was more over.
He knows that All Might's power is dwindling, and that he's trying to mold Midoriya to be the next him. I don't think
doesn't know exactly.
Yeah, I don't think he's put 2 and 2 together simply because he doesn't know that Deku didn't have a quirk.
Right. So, I think the MacGuffin is valid to be there, and for the villain to use it, rightfully so.
Dude, that was crazy.
Although I do call hacks at the end game where Midoriya, after blocking like a gunshot like from the helicopter, falls and is kind of okay still.
Yeah. So, although I'm pretty sure a lot of people have in their own reviews of the movie, I don't want to gloss over the fact that All Might killed 2 men. He openly murdered them.
Yep, he did. He literally ripped through a helicopter to save his friend, and then in a fiery explosion behind him, the helicopter crashes.
Yeah. He didn't care for the 3 other lives that were in there, which were the pilot, Sam. Wait, was Sam in? No, Sam wasn't in there.
Oh no, Sam was. He's still on the ground.
Yeah,
Just like,
it was. He was still in the main room, the vault room. Yeah. So it was the pilot, fucking the right hand man, and the main antagonist. He blew that helicopter up with only the thought of save Dave. I'm gonna blow it up and make sure that Dave never gets hurt by these people again. Presumably killing all 3 other people that were inside of that helicopter. However, the main villain survived by using the power amplifying helmet and amplifying his power to not die. So he killed those other 2. They were never shown again. Yeah. There was no them in a like mangled mess of helicopter moaning and groaning like
I'll live another day.
With like debris on top of them showing that like, okay.
They can't move.
Yeah, it's like they're not a problem, but they're not dead.
Yeah.
It was never shown that they're not dead. They're fucking vaporized by a helicopter exploding with them inside of it. So they're dead. Okay. And All Might now has a confirmed kill count of 2.
Now with the power amplifier, it kind of puts me back on the drawing board. Like, where does this villain with that power amplifier scale in the My Hero universe so far as strength, especially when you compare him to like All For One. Like, if he decided to use that against All For One, would he win?
No.
Okay, good. Because I was thinking like that monstrously one-hand punch thing would destroy everything.
It was a wrap with that arm.
Literally.
He fucking... Dude, the punch that he and All Might shared when they met their fists in that final confrontation, it destroyed a massive area. It threw everyone away.
And
granted, in this movie, All Might is punching really, really hard, and he's causing a lot of collateral damage around him. Mm-hmm. It is centralized in, I would say, at least a 30-40 foot radius of him, or 30-40 diameter around where the impact is. Not city blocks destroyed by this punch. Mm-hmm. So they're hitting with a lot of force, but All Might is still holding himself back just a little because he still needs to hold on to those embers. Mm-hmm. And the fact that All For One, if he wanted, can just amplify himself and just say, yeah, whack.
I mean, it's all based on the resources that the main antagonist had to create this really big final boss, like, mood, really.
He had low ambitions.
Very low ambitions, because he was just like, I'm a thug. You try to cross me, this is what's gonna happen.
Not just that, but it's like, oh, I have this helmet that amplifies my power to an undistinguished point. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna take this tower, and I'm gonna become the tower. You're on a fucking mechanical island. I would take the island. Step to me, boy. I'm an entire populated region, not a building. I'm a goddamn metropolis area, or metropolitan area.
I feel though, like, I think it's for the sake of the movie, but they did a lot of scaling in just like the sheer destructiveness of his power. Because you see, like, All Might just get crushed by like pillars of metal, and that's the same with Midoriya too. And he's okay.
And that's how I know that he's not that strong.
He's not that strong
because he was absolutely fucking flooring All Might, and he never once broke his form.
That is crazy. Well, yeah, because
the fight with Nomu broke All Might's form. Mm-hmm. The fight with All For One broke his form. It destroyed his form entirely.
Yep.
And it didn't just... And yes, it destroyed his form entirely because he used every last ounce of strength for the United States to smash. But even before that, he knocked him entirely out of his Tall Might form. And All Might had to freaking rally what strength that he had into localized areas to combat him.
Yeah. But we could also, like, attribute it to just, like, the time distance between, like, there and now.
It's only a couple months, and I don't think that's, like, too big of a gap in power.
That is true. So, I mean, it's tough to gauge it, like, specifically because of the movie just wanting to be as cool as it was. But, like, at the same time, like, those metal pillars look really, really painful.
Yeah, they did.
But again, like, All Might. But both him and Midoriya have both, like, have been able to stand.
Yeah. He couldn't even stop freaking Deku.
Oh, also, there's something I wanted to point out was the fact that, like, All Might and Deku were running at the same speeds. So to think that, like, All Might is only using, like, 5% to run, and the other part is just, like, maybe 60% smash, since he just wanted to destroy the tower itself. But I don't know, it's something interesting to think about, like, exactly how much percentage does All Might use or attribute in each type of part of his body. So that's really interesting. So it's nice to take a look at that. Otherwise, you could just, like, easily brush it off as just, oh, they just wanted to make a budget look really good. But I think we should also pay attention to or make note of a certain type of move that they both did.
The fucking double Delaware?
The double Detroit
Oh,
smash.
the double Detroit smash.
So
You want to talk about it?
yeah, let's talk about it.
Go for it.
So at anime cliche, in like the climax of a fight, you got both characters like merging their powers together. It's literally just one for all complete. And so you see Midoriya charging it, and you see All Might get his flex on. Both charge in there and destroy the antagonist. But I think the main takeaway is the fact that All Might didn't prepare a punch.
No.
He just flexed.
Yeah, he stunted on him.
I don't even know what he was trying to do except stunt on him.
He went after him. Like, they were both charging a punch, and then it cuts to Midoriya charging his punch, and then it cuts to All Might fucking like this. And then when it does the zoom out to like show both of them on their charge, sure enough, Midoriya's like this, and All Might's right next to him like that. And they're both flying through the air. And so the only thing that could have been even greater is if fucking All Might was T-posing. To just fucking see All Might barreling through the air, T-posing at some guy before he fucking punches him into the next county. Oh, that would have been great.
Oh my, great job. You literally bodied him.
He did. He literally bodied him.
Oh god, that was hilarious. It's the one thing that I question that entire movie. Well, actually, except for the fact that why were they all there?
Mm-hmm.
But oh shit, there's also something we should point out.
What's up?
How come there was a whole bunch of telepathy going on?
Oh, the bro telepathy.
Yeah. I get All Might, David, and David to Midoriya. But why the fuck did Midoriya and Melissa have that?
No,
too?
there was All Might and Dave.
You're like,
They've been friends since he was in school.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That is a long time to be friends with somebody.
mm-hmm.
So yes, that makes sense. And then you have All Might to Midoriya, and they've been
training for like pretty much almost a year.
They've been master protege for roughly a year, maybe a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense. But then you have sexual tension for all of 6 hours. Fucking Deku and Melissa. They shouldn't have had that connection yet.
Not yet, no.
There's no way. No matter how bad either of them wanted to get into each other's genes, they didn't have that connection yet. They didn't earn it.
Yeah, they admire each other. I think more Deku over Alyssa, and Melissa's just like, oh, he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no way they would have been able, even like as obvious as maybe the like situation could have been for us as the audience, for them, they're in this high tension like situation. They shouldn't really have been able to like create that type of like communication and say like, oh, you do this, you do that, and they're like, oh, okay, I totally understand. It's just, it shouldn't work like that. Like, how long do you think people are able to develop like a sense of telepathy? You have to know the person and understand like them from the inside out to understand like what makes them tick, what makes them comfortable, what makes them uncomfortable, and just know how to predict their next move based off of like the experience you've gathered. These two have only known each other and know that one's quirkless, the other one has a quirk, and is just pretty smart and gracious. So, I'm not mad about it, but it's also very, really weird.
So it was during their summer vacation, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's probably the way they explain and allow them to go on this trip.
July to August.
And this only happens in a day.
April.
They fly out for a day. I guess TLDR. Just go ahead and watch the movie and just enjoy yourself.
Okay. So, it has been 13 to 14 months since Deku got his powers from All Might when this incident occurs.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a big difference in time frame for him to have been weakened so much to where later on he is able to fucking tank All for One. So yeah, that guy wasn't very strong at all.
Yeah, okay.
Which is sad because he looked really strong.
He looked really strong, and considering his quirk, he seems overpowered in that type of environment. But only in that environment.
But the USJ incident happened somewhere between
a few months ago. Then
a
few months prior to the event,
because it was 10 months of training for Deku. Mm-hmm. So when he starts school, it's 10 months in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in April.
And you have to go through one entire semester.
Yeah, so they have April. Their summer vacation is July to August. So that leaves April, May, and June for the USJ incident to occur. Mm-hmm. So it is somewhere between a 1 month and 3 month gap. Mm-hmm. Actually, let's see. What the fuck is that? That looks like a video game, and it probably is. All right, so we had that. We had the
battle trial arc.
What is the battle trial? Oh, yeah, I remember.
It's when
trial.
Everyone suits up.
Then we had the USJ.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the sports festival. When was the sports festival? Does it say like when it might have happened? It doesn't look like it gives a time for when it happened in the school year. Anyway.
Using the new
story impact.
Trivia. Person. So it doesn't say when it occurs, but I'm gonna guess it only happened like a month
after
the USJ. So between 2 and 3 months.
Okay.
Difference.
Mm-hmm.
That's whack.
Boy, you hear strutting with your metal, but you ain't shit. Let me flex on you real quick. Oh, damn it. And the thing is, he used a gun.
Oh, on top of all of that, All Might had been in his freaking Tall Might form for hours already. Mm-hmm. A whole damn day. And he still didn't break form against him.
That's true. He said it usually takes up 3 hours.
Takes him 3 hours.
But he literally was flexing the entire day.
The whole fucking day.
Well, minus a quick break, just so Dave could look at him.
Yeah, every now and again when he's hanging out with Dave, he'd stop. But every time he's out in the public, and during that whole time that they were in the thing,
he was captured and he had to stay there in that form.
Yeah.
And he had to fight.
Then he had to fight.
And he wasn't even using all of it.
What a shame. He looked so strong.
Mm-hmm.
But he was really nothing.
Because he was just he was essentially kind of a low thug that All for One was like, I think I'll employ him to do this.
Yeah, because it wasn't so much, oh, you're a good candidate. It's, oh, Dave is working with this. Yeah, I can help you with Dave.
Dude, he was so low on the priorities of All for One. He doesn't even mention him in the canon.
Yeah.
He's like, I hate to take this away from Shigaraki, but I guess I'll be the one to take you down. Doesn't even bat an eye oh, there was that one guy. Who was his name again? What was his face? Probably not important. Probably. If I knew him, I probably would have taken his quirk.
If his quirk was worth taking, I would have taken it. So, not much. Damn. But hey, when a guy known for doing nothing but taking quirks doesn't find your quirk worth taking.
Yeah. Look. Can your metal do anything to my drill that I came up with?
Wonder drill. All right, we've been talking for a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I pretty much said my piece. It's a fun movie. You should definitely watch it if you are like a big fan. Until I see like some like more references to the Shields,
Mm-hmm.
then I won't really say it's on your priority listing. Especially, well, if we do see it later on, definitely watch it by then. So that's all I can really say. But it's just fun because it has all these elements from like the series. It's not just like a big old dark brooding scene. It's like you have like the comedy in there, you have like the drama, you have the motivation. It just kind of has everyone in there.
Yeah, it's done fairly well. It has decent pacing. The story within itself makes sense. If you like ignore a lot of the side characters, and there's really not much going wrong with it.
Yeah, there's nothing really picky about it.
It has it has a really good twist that then twists again.
Yeah. I'm surprised we never really touched on that spoiler in there.
Yeah.
But of course we had to get the one where like he stunts him.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I want to bring up. Why didn't he just kill them? Shoulder shots both times.
I mean, dude, it would have like had the same effect if that guy just got shot in the head. Like the way they shot it, I was like, oh my god! But then everyone looks out in the camera, like gets a better frame of like.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, my arm.
And we're like, oh, come on.
I think there's like a mass like disappointment in the entire theater. It's like, I thought you killed him.
And then the second shot comes in, it's like, oh, what?
Yeah.
That's not possible. Not possible.
Dave, I understand a bit more. Dave jumped in front of the gun, so it wasn't like he aimed at Dave and tried to kill him.
But wasn't he like halfway up the stairs, if not like a good distance away from like those two? To be able to like...
Secret quirk.
Oh yeah, he does have a quirk.
No, he doesn't.
David has a quirk, but just like very... not...
Neither
applicable.
he nor Melissa have a quirk.
What?
Yeah. Melissa brought that up. It was right there. I'm quirkless, just like my father is.
Oh damn! I thought I said like he has a quirk. Well, he doesn't have anything that suits hero business at all. That's what I heard, or at least that's what I thought. I'll have to double check again. But all right.
Well, not having a quirk doesn't really suit hero business.
What? Having. What? I'll look it up.
All right, let me pull up David's shield real quick. Never mind. He does bendy fingers.
Bending fingers. Wait, can you do this?
Oh my god. Oh, this quirk allows David to bend his fingers a little more than a normal person.
So he can do this. That's funny.
Oh my.
That's funny.
Dude. Oh man.
Ever just been done so dirty by the world? He knows it.
Fuck, dude.
Been more than the average person.
Slightly more. Not more. Slightly more.
So, I couldn't just grab you like this way.
No.
There's no point. It's no use.
You know what his quirk is? I'm double jointed in my fingers. That's it.
I can't.
Like, I'm pretty... Have you ever seen... have any of the people that you've met throughout your life been able to bend, like, this joint backwards?
Not like actively. I don't even backwards.
I think Angela was able to do it. Where she could bend this joint where you normally bend it this way.
You're right.
She could bend it like that.
Independently, like, oh wow.
Yeah. Bend it the other way.
Damn,
I don't even think he would be able to do that with his quirk. Because that's more flexible.
More flexibility.
I would consider that more flexible than the average person, not slightly more flexible. I would consider slightly more flexible like the difference between my thumbs. How one is a hitchhiker's thumb and the other isn't.
Right.
I would consider that slightly more flexible than normal. I would say he could, like, get his fingers to go back like that if he were to, like...
Yeah, if we just push together.
Yeah, if he... Like, without pushing them together, he can make his fingers go 90 degrees back.
Alright.
I would consider that slightly more flexible.
Bruh. Have a discussion on how we can improve on David Shields' quirk.
Get a gun. If he wants to improve his quirk, get a gun.
Just get a gun. Just be snipe.
From what I can tell from this picture, that's all he's doing. He's bending his fingers backwards 90 degrees.
Poor Mr. Shield.
And he looks like he's struggling. He is sweating.
It's not a big deal, really. He's trying his hardest, like...
Oh, man. Fucking Dave.
Dude, baby Deku is better off than him. You might as well just give up.
Dude, you don't have a quirk. You're double jointed.
Listen, man. That's not a quirk. I swear it is. Like, can you see? No!
Hold on.
That can't even help you.
Dave, do me a favor, okay? Bend your fingers back. Yeah. I'll hit him. See, Dave? Nothing changed. You don't have a quirk.
Can I take a look? Yeah, sure. You don't have a quirk.
Oh, that fucking doctor?
Yeah. This Iida and the doctor like, I can't seem to. Yeah, no, you're. Dude, there's a just a little side note. There's a part where Aizawa actually shows up in the Vigilantes manga, and he's like analyzing this guy. He's like, what is he doing? Like, how's he able to just like get by my attacks? And he's like, oh wait, he's quirkless. He's just like he's just an old man just trying to throw punches at me. It works though. Kind of throws people off. But yeah, it's still a fun movie. I do hope that I see them again, because they just have so much going for them as far as like their motives and how much they want to support All Might and also Deku. So I do hope to see more of this. And you know what? Bring in the flexible fingers. What can you do? Oh, just this.
You want to know what's sad? You know who's a better hero than he is?
Glowing Baby.
Not Glowing Baby.
Shit.
No. However, Glowing Baby does have a better quirk. The fucking guy from Deku's class that can fucking pull his eyes out. He's a better hero.
You know who's a better hero? Blockhead. Come in there in that first row, just be like,
dude. He makes a better hero. You know why? He can look over that wall. You know why Glowing Baby is a better hero? He can illuminate that dark cave.
Here, Dave, you could hold the flashlight, I guess.
You know what Dave can do? Dave can hold that nail. That really awkward to get to. Oh, you know what? Dave has another purpose. You ever just like reach into somewhere and you could feel like a switch that you can't exactly like get?
Right.
He can get that switch.
You can get that switch.
Yeah. Granted, someone with a lot of like household items can get that switch as well, but Dave doesn't have to look for those items.
You just flick it.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. I see you. I see what you're doing.
Dave is really good at flicking switches and pushing buttons.
That's why he drives a car. That's super fast car. Okay, I see you. I mean, not anymore. I don't know where that car's been. But I see you.
God, the fact that it says slightly more.
God, no wonder.
Slightly.
No wonder Melissa's quirkless.
She probably has the same quirk, but she doesn't consider it one.
What's the mom? Please tell me the mom has some type of quirk that just wasn't able to be passed down.
It doesn't. She's not in the fucking.
She's not in the directory.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh.
The Shields are a blessed yet unblessed family of geniuses.
If it just said bend his fingers more than a normal person, I'd be okay with that. I'd be slightly okay with that.
But because they already took those words from you, put slightly in there.
Yep.
Slightly more.
When it comes to just his fingers being flexible, I will be one step down from the adjective that they use. So slightly is one step above not. So I am not okay with him being slightly more flexible. If he was just more flexible, I'd be slightly okay with it.
Alright, well, I think that's enough bashing on David Shield for a bit.
Alright, so we're done.
He already has his time to deal with. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching this discussion of the My Heroes movie, Two Heroes. Definitely give it a watch if you're a fan of the series.
Just no, Dave is going to jail for a long time.
Yeah, for having a terrible quirk. That's what.
As Anaya would put it, he knows what he did. I'm gonna tell Anaya Dave's quirk.
I hope he knows. Hope he appreciates what he has.
But yeah, we're done.
Yeah, alright. So, #bye everyone.
It's a discussion.
Yes.